Hi guys, how are we doing? So today I'm back on fridges again, and to be fair, it's only been a couple of days since I worked for the last company doing the drops in Asda. But this is actually for a different company. This is for somebody called Cranswick Foods, Country Foods or something. Which obviously let me out. Sorry about that. So somebody refused to let me out on the slip roads, but they just slowed down instead of getting past me, which made it much more difficult for me to get out. It's one of those really short slip roads out of the services. I've just stopped for a coffee and a sausage roll at the Wild Bean Cafe. Christ, it's expensive. That's like, what was it? I mean, I'm a tight git, but that was £5.40 for a coffee, large, admittedly, and a sausage roll. £5.40. I can get a Big Mac meal with a drink and fries for £5.40. Anyway, I hope you're all doing alright.
In 2 miles, take exit.
I'm actually going to Snodland, Tesco RDC. I've got some chicken on board, I think. I don't know exactly what I got on board, to be fair. The paperwork doesn't really say an awful lot, but yeah, I'm dropping the whole contents of the trailer, and I'm potentially picking up some trays as well. I'm assuming this is like plastic trays. I'm supposed to be bringing those back, and that's it. As far as I know, that's my job for today. So yeah, very much an easy day. Foot down Friday. Can't complain. The drop was about 2.5 miles from the yard. 2.5 miles? God, 2.5 hours. About 128 miles, something like that. A11 South closed after A505. Well, we shouldn't need that because I'm getting off in a while.
In 1 mile, take exit.
See? But yeah, it's not too far away. It's about right, really. I mean, I was supposed to be there for about 25 past 12, half 12, something like that. And yeah, it's potentially going to be sat on the bay for an hour, maybe less. I don't know. I mean, if I'm loading the trays as well, it's going to be a good hour, I would think, if not more. But you don't know. I mean, yesterday when I went to Bedford, I was sat there on the bay, which normally I'd drop about 10, 12 pallets, something like that, about half the trailer. And
in 500 yards, take exit.
They normally take literally about 20 minutes, half an hour to unload me. I was at Bedford for 2 hours. So that meant that I was late getting to Lutterworth and I was late getting home. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock, gone 9 o'clock. So yeah, that wasn't much fun. But there you go, you can't really help it, it's just one of those things. So, but yeah, you probably can't see, but it's really foggy today. It was foggy last night as well. It's starting to lift actually, just a little. But yeah, the fog's been really bad. I mean, it's been to a point where I can only see about 10 metres in front of me. So yeah, the weather's making today interesting. See a little bit better now though, so that's good. Anyway, I shall probably speak to you when we get to Snodland, which is a really funny place, isn't it? All the name. Cranswick! That's who I'm working for, by the way. Probably told you already. Anyway, let's go! Hi guys, just going across the Dartford tunnel, not tunnel, the bridge, Dartford crossing. I don't know if there was another way to get here apart from going over the crossing, but I'm hoping that I'm not going to get charged for it. There might not be any other way to get there, I haven't looked, but there is a tag in the window, but I'm not sure if it's for that or whether it's something else. But I'm sure we're about to find out. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring you back quickly just while I show you the bridge and that. I wasn't sure exactly what the situation was regarding the bridge, but we'll get there anyway. Go on, Mr. Van, get going. Thank you. So yeah, it's turned from fog to rain. I'm not sure which I prefer, to be honest. Probably the fog, to be fair. Traffic is quite heavy now. So we're about 18 miles to the next drop. It's been that way. So yeah, it should be there for about 20 past 12. So time wise, we're not doing too bad. 2 hours and 18 minutes on my taco, so I've got plenty of time. And hopefully, if I get to my drop, they've got about 2 hours to tip me. So if I'm not out within 2 hours, then I'll have to sit there and have a break. But we'll see what happens. So. Yeah, the weather's not particularly fancy at the moment. Still, could be worse. It could be pitch black at night and absolutely chucking it down or snowing. Oh, that's a lot of trucks queuing up. 2,000 as well. Yeah, I'm not a particular fan of London and the M25 and M20 and all that. I don't mind sitting on motorways, but it's a couple of the busiest motorways ever. So, go on, mate. You're welcome. trying to get the settings right, and I've put the heated seats on. So I was flicking lots of buttons and stuff, and all of a sudden my bum started getting hot, and now I don't know how to turn it off. So yeah, there's that. Nice and warm, don't get me wrong, but a little too warm.
Attention, safety camera.
Oh dear. Anyway, I'll carry on to the next drop, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Hi guys, how are you doing? I've just left Tesco's at Snodland, and we were supposed to be picking up some trays to bring back, but I rang the office and said I need a reference number, and they said don't worry about it, just come straight back. So I'm now heading back to the yard. It reckons I'm going to be back for about 5 to 5, so that will be later than that though, because I've got to have a break. So yeah, it's going to be more like 5:30, 5:45, something like that. So, well, it's still not too bad. Be home for about 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. So can't really complain. And still it rains. It's that horrible fine drizzle stuff, and it's just ugh. Yeah, Tesco's. I when I got there, actually, I had to ring the office, because if you haven't done supermarket RDCs, I mean, I've done Asda and Tesco's now, and I think they're all pretty much the same. You pull up to the gate, and where security would have been,
Take first exit at roundabout.
is now like some automated screens, like touch screens. So you just select your language, they ask you if you've got COVID, and then say you need to wear high-vis clothing and boots and all that sort of stuff. And then what happens is you put in your reference number. That's a nice view, isn't it? Was up in Yorkshire. So yeah, you pop in your reference number, and then they tell you which bay to go on, pretty much. In fact, Tesco's, they do ask you a lot more. They actually ask you what kind of trailer you've got, how high it is. They ask you how many pallets have got to come off, and what temperature it is, and all that sort of stuff. But once you've done all that, it actually assigns you a bay there and then, which is quite good, because you don't have to piss about going in the goods in office or transport office and say, hi, I'm here, what bay do you want me on? So in that respect, it's better than Asda, but Asda also don't ask you all those 21 questions about who you are, and what you eat for breakfast, and what you're doing after you get off from
In
work.
500 yards, take first exit at roundabout.
So yeah, I mean, I was there probably about an hour. But like I said, when I got to the gate initially and put in a reference code that was on my paperwork, that was wrong.
Take first exit at roundabout.
So it wouldn't give me a bay number, so it would let me in so I could get out again. So I had to ring the office and say, this reference number isn't working, mate, can you sort it out? And it took them about 45 minutes to come back to me, but thankfully I found somewhere to park near the exit, and nobody came up to me and told me I shouldn't be there, so
Take first exit at roundabout.
I just stayed there, really. I mean, I suppose in hindsight I could have popped it on break, but I didn't know how long I was going to be, so I thought I'll just wait and then have my break when I know I can
Take
stop.
first exit at roundabout.
So yeah, I'm going on to the M2. Oh, it looks a bit odd down here. It looks really old and forgotten about, doesn't it? So yeah, I've had a bit more chance to get used to this truck now, and I must admit, I don't mind it too much. There's a few little problems I don't like about it, like the air vents are just awful. And I still have this heated seat is still on. I don't know how to turn the bloody heated seat off. So yeah, I'll have a look at that when I stop because I forgot to do it. Actually, I think this is late. But yeah, no, the truck's quite nice. It's got some red night lighting, which is quite nice, and all the lights fade in and out and all that kind of stuff. So can't complain too much. But I think I need to get in that lane. Yeah, I have a feeling it's just going to rain all day now. It's going to rain all the way back. So we'll have to see what the weather holds, but it's going to start getting dark very soon, so I'll be driving back in the dark and the wet. That's alright. I'm getting used to the reversing though. It's where I was finding that it would take me, you know, I get the angle wrong, so I have to sort of pull out and then pull back in again. I'm finding that I'm able to get my angles a lot better now, so I'm sort of get the angle, because I mean, if you've not driven an Arctic before and you're learning to do it, or you've just started, the biggest tip I can give you is, if you're pulling onto a bay, obviously do it on your side. So the right hand side of the truck, because then you can see where the trailer's going. If you do it on what you call the blind side, which is the left hand side of the truck, when the trailer gets to a certain angle you can't see the arse end. So always do it on the side that you can see. But the biggest tip I can give you is actually, when you pull up to the bay, pull a bit further than you think you need to, and then try and pull yourself in at an angle. Obviously a 45-degree angle is desired, but you don't always have enough room in front of the bays to be able to do that. So yeah, getting your angle right before you start the reverse is crucial, because basically you're doing half your work already if you're pulling in at the right angle. So that's the biggest tip I can give you. And then just make sure that you don't go too far when you're reversing it in. So when you've got your angle, you're trying to move the tractor unit to turn the back end of the trailer the way you want it to. Don't turn it too far, because you'll then have to chase yourself and you'll end up sort of looking like a banana, and then you'll have to pull forward and then shunt and, you know, wiggle it in that way. But hopefully you can visualise what I mean. So, and if you haven't driven in reverse yet, and you just started to do your training, obviously when you do get to that point, you'll know what I mean. So, but yeah, looks like there's some debris in the road. Apparently, according to the sign back there, I don't know what's going on, but it wants us to do 60. Well, of course, I can't do 60 anyway. Though I have to say, I have, unfortunately, driven over speed 3 times today. 3 times! I don't know what it is with this truck, it just likes to go downhill really quickly. And the engine brake is not very good. I'm trying to think of a better way of describing it, but it just, in some trucks it's really good, like the 18 plate MAN that I drove, you put it on maximum engine brake on that and it's just, you can feel it holding on, it holds you back. Whereas in some trucks it's just like, I'll do my best but I'm not very good at it, and you just think, well, surely you can make it a bit better. I mean, when you've got a 44 ton Arctic and you're fully loaded and it's pushing you along downhill, I can kind of understand it a bit more. But yeah, you're supposed to use it in conjunction with the breaker, I suppose, going downhill. But you know, this was fully loaded though. She was very heavy. I don't think it was maximum weight, but it was definitely to the back door. And of course, chicken or meat can be quite heavy, so it probably was quite heavy. We're probably rocking 30-35 tons. So, and the fridge trailers are a bit heavier anyway, so yeah, we probably weren't far off full. Anyway, I'm going to carry on my journey, and I will talk to you when we get back to the yard, or I get in the car, one of them. So, I'll speak to you shortly.
On my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Go wish. Go wish. Go wish. Go wish.
I decided, well, that took me 45-minute break, so I had that about 15 minutes ago. I just left from my break, and got myself a Starbucks. So I'm just on the way home now. Yeah, I was going to talk about work next week because I haven't, well, it's the week that's running up to Christmas, obviously. So, you know, I didn't really want to be working a full week because there's just so much to do and not enough time. I didn't mind working sort of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, but I didn't really want to work Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve in our house is always a bit chaotic with presents being wrapped and Christmas dinner being prepped and trying to get excitable children to bed. I'm sure there's many of you that can relate. So the agency said, funny enough, the agency actually said to me, we've got a job available for you next week, Monday to Thursday, either days or tramping. I was like, oh, you offer me tramping? Any other week I might have considered it. So I'm doing days on Wednesday and Thursday, because Tuesday I've got to take the wife up to the hospital, and Monday's my mother-in-law's birthday, so I thought what I'll do is I'll work the Wednesday and Thursday, and then obviously, you know, I've also got work for Roy's of Wroxham, which is the same company I worked my first day in a Class 1 with, and they do like, it's not a discount store, but it's like a general, well, I didn't realise how big this company was, right? They have Highways garden centres, or Best Ways, I can't remember. They've got a few of those. They've got about 7 stores dotted around Norfolk and Suffolk and East Anglia, basically. But of course their business name is Roy's of Wroxham, which is their biggest site, because they've got a DIY site, they've got the food hall, and they've got the department store. So yeah, they've got quite a big array of things there. So naturally they've got 2 class 1s and a class 2, I think. So they basically just go, and on the class 1 you just take pallets and cages up to their stores, really. So it's not that difficult, but it's work nonetheless, and it's not too bad paid for what the job is, and it's an 8 o'clock start as well, so it's not mega early. So yeah, I've got that to do. I think I'm doing the Tuesday to Friday between Christmas and New Year, and the same in January, which I think is it's like the 3rd to the 7th or something like that.
Exit.
So yeah, I've got a couple of weeks work in the New Year as well, around Christmas and New Year. I mean, normally I don't like to work between Christmas and New Year. I like to have that big, sort of block off. But because I've not had much work recently, I thought I'll just take, a few days. And it's not like I'm out all day either. It's not like these sorts of runs where I'm doing, RDC runs and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not going to get back till 6 o'clock now. So not too an early finish, and I've got to go to Norwich and pick up some bits as well.
Take exit.
Right, we're about to get on to the A11 now.
Take exit.
That's a big line of traffic. I'm glad I'm not queuing up there. Traffic is going quite some distance, isn't it? All those white lights you can see that we're about to drive over is the traffic. Yowzers. They're not going to get a foot down Friday, are they? Right, I'm going to continue making my way back to the yard, and I will speak to you guys later.
Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Make a wish.
Hi folks, well there we go, another day, another dollar. Back in the yard now, obviously just in the car. Not my car though, it's my wife's car, because mine needs some work doing to it. But yeah, all in all, a pretty normal day. No dramas apart from just the standard issues that you get as a truck driver. So, but I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And yeah, there'll be much more coming from me very, very soon. As I said earlier on, I have got some work next week for a company called Meddlers, and they are in Norwich, but they're sort of, I'd say south east of Norwich, but not. I mean, normally south east of Norwich you think sort of Blowfield or, you know, somewhere like that. But these guys are actually, well, the best way to get to them is down the 149, past Stalham and sort of on the way to Wroxham, Rackheath. So they're sort of around the bottom end of North Norfolk, I suppose. And apparently it's a Class 1 curtain sider, doing deliveries. As I say, I don't really know more than that. I don't even know what time I'm starting yet, so we'll find that out next week, I would think. And then, as I say, Christmas and New Year I'll be working for Roy's of Wroxham, who do the cages and pallets for their stores that I talked about earlier on. So yeah, but I'm going to shoot off home now, and actually I'm not going to go home. I've got to pick some stuff to pick up. So I've got quite a few bits actually. I've got 2 or 3 things to pick up from Norwich, so I'm not getting home for at least a couple of hours yet anyway. Never mind, but I'm going to get on my way, and I hope you guys will join me for another video very, very soon, I hope. And as always, make sure you subscribe, like the video if you did like it, and if you've got any comments or questions, you know where to leave them. And see you guys in the next video. See you later.